listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this special promotional episode of Addressing Gettysburg. It is time for the Get Out of the Park tour season, our first Get Out of the Park tour season, and it is we're talking about our third tour this year in June this month. June 21st is going to be the date at 10:30 a.m. We're going to talk about the Battle of Brandy Station, and we are going to focus on the action around St.James Church. And it is a pleasure to have my two guests today on, because you know them both from this show, but you might not know, but that they are also certified, right? Certified, not licensed.
Certified. Yeah.
Certifiable. Yeah, that's true. Certifiable guides down at Brandy Station. What's the name of the company? It's Culpeper
Battlefield Tours.
Culpeper Battlefield Tours. Of course, 6 Questions Lentz over here, and Tracy Baer. Tracy's a guide here at Gettysburg, and 6 Questions about to be.
Sure, yeah.
About to be a guide here at Gettysburg as well. It's just going to be a matter of time. This time next year, he will be a guide. I am certain of it. No pressure. So anyway, tell us now. So we're going to Brandy Station. This is one of the battles leading into the Battle of Gettysburg. It's part of the Gettysburg campaign. Kind of kicks it off, right?
Yeah. Yes.
It's so tell us about it. Why is there a battle at Brandy Station?
Well, quite simply put, it's the flank of both armies, more or less, because what has happened to this point in 1863 is that the Union is on the north side of the Rappahannock River, and the Confederacy, their army, is on the south end of the Rappahannock River.
Okay.
Lee is looking to invade the north. He has convinced Richmond of that. So he's starting to shift his forces over to start making their way up north. In preparation of that, he has placed his cavalry under Jeb Stuart at Culpeper. And so this buildup of cavalry is not going to go unnoticed, because if you have this river that divides these two forces and they've been staring at each other for some time, for months, someone's going to notice a buildup of forces somewhere.
And also, is it going to be easier to notice them when the cavalry commander has 2 grand reviews?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
A little noisy, yeah.
Yeah.
And so Stuart being Stuart, he's going to throw a couple of parties. I mean, you got to show off for the ladies after all.
That's right.
And John Bell Hood's division too, a few of their friends. So absolutely.
Yeah. And that's going to make some noise.
Absolutely.
You've got some artillery demonstrations and cheering Hoodsmen, right? Hoodsmen are cheering for when Lee goes by, I believe, in the second review. Is that not correct?
Yes. They're cheering Lee. I would say more jeering the cavalry.
That's right. They're jeering until Lee shows up, and then they're cheering. Yeah.
A little rivalry there.
Right.
Yeah.
But of course, the Union notices this. I think Grumble Jones even kind of mumbles that in his journal or something, or a letter, right? That, they're going to be coming tomorrow now or something like that. And they do, don't they? The next day almost, isn't it?
The second grand review is held on the 8th.
Yes, so it's the next day.
The battle is the 9th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The first grand review is the 5th. The second's the 8th. And then, the battle kicks off early morning of June 9th.
All right. And so tell us a little bit about the battle up to the point of St. James Church.
Well, so this is for most of the listeners to AG, you are so familiar with many of the names on this battlefield.
Yep.
And many of those same names are involved with Brandy Station. And a few of the men who would be at Gettysburg aren't because of Brandy Station. They are snuffed out. Some promising young men and officers. So very briefly, Alfred Pleasanton, the commander of the Union cavalry forces, is sent by Hooker to devise this plan to sweep across the Rappahannock River using 2 different fords and converge on the town of Brandy Station, where these two separate units, these 2 separate Union forces will converge there at Brandy, and then sweep towards Culpeper, which is where they believe the Confederate cavalry is. Okay? What happens, though, is the one the one Union force under General Buford, John Buford, or James.
I was telling him that during the guide exam, every general's name was John or James, and no matter what his name really was.
So John Buford is going to cross the river first. He is going to encounter pickets of Grumble Jones' brigade of cavalry, and the battle will begin to kick off. It's going to be several hours later until the other wing, the Union wing, crosses the river at Kelly's Ford to sweep up around. And by this time, the battle is in full force going on, with the Union forces driving the Confederates back, driving the artillery, who is ready to cross the river that morning to proceed north into Pennsylvania. Okay, now this artillery has to be harnessed and limbered and taken back out of harm's way. Where they ultimately end up is a small plateau by St. James Church.
So they want to cross the river in order to invade. Are they not aware of the Union cavalry that is across the river?
No.
Grumble Jones might argue otherwise,
yes.
but that's Grumble Jones.
Yeah.
There's not a considerable amount of reconnaissance being done, which is quite ironic considering this is cavalry.
That's their job.
That's their
right.
job.
Yeah.
So both sides are not doing a lot of reconnaissance. So they more or less stumble into each other in the early morning hours of June 9th, not expecting to find each other there at Beverly Ford.
And this is, I think part of this, Mike, is that they just had these grand reviews.
Yeah.
Right.
They're resting.
Yeah.
Because they know they're going to be marching the next day.
Yeah.
So they're resting with minimal pickets along the river. They're guarding the fords, but they're not sending men across.
I seem to remember that when the fighting starts, as Buford's men are fighting with the pickets and trying to get across the river, the reinforcements that are coming are like in their long johns. They're not even really fully dressed or ready because they're asleep.
Right.
Well,
It's like 4:30 in the morning, isn't it?
Also,
when it
there's a
starts?
sense of urgency here, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because not too far away is the entirety of Stuart's horse artillery, and they're unharnessed. They're grazing in the fields, recovering from that grand review.
Right.
Yeah.
They're getting prepared to move that day across the ford. But now, all of a sudden, you have thousands of Union troopers crossing that ford.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Various states of undress. Virginians just rush to the scene to try to prevent that artillery from getting into Union hands.
And many of the initial shots that the Virginians were making were not necessarily aimed at Union troopers. They're up in the air trying to get everybody else's attention.
Interesting.
Okay. An alarm, so to speak,
Yeah.
for the rest of the Confederate forces.
Wouldn't shooting at the Union troopers also raise the alarm?
If you can see them and if they're there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
If you've been down there during the anniversary events, it is dark for a great deal of when that battle started.
Okay.
You can't see very well. And until maybe about 2 hours in, can you really start picking things out pretty clearly.
It's not dissimilar to Culpe's Hill with the canopy of trees and darkness.
Yeah, so I was looking at the satellite image of that area, and there's a big chunk of woods in between St. James Church and the river crossing. And then, if I'm not mistaken, right after the river crossing, there's a little bit of an opening, but it doesn't seem to be that big compared to the wide open field after the woods.
It was then.
It was then.
It was bigger then?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So the woods are bigger now.
More trees there now.
There are more trees now than there were then, for sure.
Okay.
I think looking at the pictures from 63 and 64 of Culpeper County, it looks almost like a desert. So,
yeah, most of Virginia pictures do look like that, don't they?
Yeah.
During the well, and that's another interesting.
The armies lived there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And that's my other point. We're talking. This is the third year of the war, and that area this isn't the first time it's being used by anybody,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah, they've all 61, 62, 63, they've used this area extensively.
Yeah.
Including Kelly's Ford has already seen a battle at the Battle of Kelly's Ford in March of 1863.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And after the Battle of Gettysburg, where did the two armies end up? Culpeper County.
Culpeper, yeah. So, so the Buford's men are able to push back the Confederates.
Right.
And then what happens?
So the Confederate gun line will withdraw to the that plateau at St. James Church. They'll put up essentially just a wall of cannon and wait. And when the Union make their presence felt coming up the Beverly Ford Road and through the fields, they unleash this iron hell on them. And Wade Hampton is already called up. Stuart is already really responding to this surprise quite well.
Did he not believe it at first?
Oh,
Or did he not take it too seriously at first?
That's the thing you have to understand about Stuart.
Yeah.
He may be a popinjay sometimes, but he's a professional.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
If he hears popping off going off at the fort and it's intensifying, he's not going to fluff that off.
He knows.
Right.
He knows. And so von Borka writes a very good account of when they hear that start, all of a sudden the headquarters goes into chaos. Everyone starts mounting up and starts heading towards where the sound of the guns are going.
You know what to do.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
So that becomes, the St. James Church line becomes the main, really first Confederate defensive position. And this is where then we have Union charges against that line. And the Confederates will, without giving away too much information, will be able to be held before Stuart becomes surprised for the second time in the same day.
Right.
Finding that Union forces now are in Brandy. And of course, that's that left wing of the Union forces that have made their way around.
So now his right is threatened. Is that
rear,
right?
his
rear. His rear.
And
I hate it when your rear gets threatened like that.
You and me both, brother. So St. James Church. Now, here's what's tricky, folks, when you come to do this tour. If you're used to our Get Out of the Car tours here in Gettysburg, this is essentially the same idea that we're trying to accomplish here, where we get out, we explore, we walk around, we feel the ground beneath our feet so that we can get a better idea of what the soldiers might have gone through fighting on it. And the difference between here and there is it's different. It is not. It is what? It's a state park, right? The state park
is now.
It is now, but it's not the way Gettysburg is. So if you picture Gettysburg, where there's these perfect park roads and all these parking lots and spaces and things like that, not quite the same. There's no visitor center, correct?
And there's no KFC and McDonald's right across where the main attack took place.
Right. It is.
It's pristine.
Except for an airport, it's pretty pristine down there. It's still farmland and everything like that. So what we're going to do, this is interesting now. So this is part of the adventure. We're not going to follow each other down because that'll be a nightmare. So you're going to have to use your GPS, and we're going to meet at a place called what the hell is it? Southern State Gas.
It's a gas station convenience store.
It's a gas station convenience store. You can get food, you can get water while you're there. You can also get gas. You can tinkle if you need to, and I suggest you do, because there's no other opportunity to do that when we're out on the tour. There's no porta-johns. There's no comfort stations or anything like that. That Southern State Gas is on Route 29 in, I'm assuming that's Culpeper there, right?
Elkwood.
Oh, I'm glad I asked.
So 13655 Beverly Ford Road, Elkwood.
13655 Beverly Ford Road in Elkwood, Virginia.
That's right.
So we're going to meet there. And maybe even, probably not, I don't know, but maybe we could even further consolidate automobiles if, some people carpooled and they have maybe one seat open or whatever, but that might not be necessary. And then from there, we are going to caravan to the parking lot where at St. James Church, right?
That's right.
That's right. Okay. So St. James Church itself is not there anymore, correct?
That is correct.
That's correct.
Gotcha. You were
But we can, what I'd like to say is this Get Out of the Park tour will be considerable walking there. So dress appropriately. There will be some mowed paths across the battlefield, but
tick spray.
Water.
Sunscreen.
Yep. Tick spray, sunscreen, water. It is June. It's going to be the height of June. It's the first day of summer, second day of summer. What?
Folding chairs.
Oh, yeah. Bring yourself some folding chairs if you'd like to sit. How would you say for people who are concerned, maybe it's too strenuous walking wise?
This particular location out of the three we discussed is probably the least amount of elevation gain and loss.
Okay.
It's not level, and it is through fields, but
relatively
not a lot of climbing like Beaver's Knoll would be.
Right. And then, but if you do have any problems or something, Mike did say you can piggyback on him.
Yeah, absolutely.
He'll carry you. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do. So again, one more time, June 21st, 10:30 a.m. That's when the tour starts. So we should probably get to the gas station no later than 10 a.m. And leave there around 10:15 or so to get to St. James Church. We're going to caravan that way. We're going to meet at Southern State Gas on Route 29. It's 13655 Beverly Ford Road in Elkwood. Was it Road? Okay, in Elkwood, Virginia. And from there, we're going to caravan over. So make sure that you're there as close to 10 o'clock as you can. If not, if you use Google Maps, if you put in St. James Church, you want to pick St. James Church Battlefield. And you can find us there. It'll be obvious once we're there. And that is about it. I hope to see you all out there. I'm very excited about this year, getting out of the park. It's going to be awesome. We're going to see some new battlefields for our tours. I'm sure some of you have been to these places already, but I'm also excited because we're going to have a tag team here, which is a new thing, and especially because our buddy Mike 6 Questions Lentz gets to show his stuff here to all of you. It's kind of like a preview for everybody, so that when you get a license here at Gettysburg, they'll know to hire you. Otherwise, that's it. Thank you very much, Tracy. Thank you very much, Mike. Thank all of you for watching, and I hope we see you out there on the 21st. Until then, ta-ta. I don't know, ta-ta. What is that? Until then, goodbye.
Gin the cavalry.